Have you ever thought, I need to make money online and I don't know where to get started? What if I told you that you already have everything you need to get started? You just need to monetize it. In today's episode, I'm going to break down exactly how you can turn your skills into real income really very fast, even if you are a total beginner. Welcome back to Digital Revolution, where we break down everything you need to know to start your business from a scratch digitally. My name is Priya Rao and thank you for joining in. We are going to go deep dive into episode number 10, monetizing your skills, the fastest way to make money online. If you have a skill and you are already wondering what kind of a business can I start, so let's start today's episode with a little quote. Skills pay the bills. If you have a skill, you already have a business waiting to be built. Can you imagine? I have spoken in so many of the episodes that have gone by of what are the kind of skills that you can harp on, what are the kind of skills that you can build on. There are probably skills that you are not aware you have, or those are the skills that you are using every day in your job, every day in your normal work life, and you realize that those are the kind of skills that you can actually, maybe you did not know that those are the kind of skills that you can put down to immediate work, put down to immediate practice, and start monetizing through so many new avenues which are now getting created in an online space to make money. Now, how do you monetize your skills and why monetizing your skills is the fastest way to make money online today? Now, unlike traditional jobs, you don't need to wait for a degree or a certification to start. Now, in this day and age, if you have a skill, you can get started, right? You can polish your skills and maybe do a little course here and there, and everything is available online today, guys, right? So, that is one part. The second part is you are already in a college, you are already pursuing a degree, and probably it's not adding to an immediate monetization kind of a skill, but probably you are a good writer or you are good at guiding people, good at figuring out new ways of making things work. So maybe you could get started in an online space and explore so many new digital products which are now starting to mushroom all across the internet, where you can get started with as simple as creating ebooks online. You could get started with Canva hacking skills. You can get started with Photoshop. There are so many things you can get started on, guys, right? So people are already making loads of money using these skills like social media, like Canva editing, and even teaching languages. So with the internet, your customers are literally global. Your skills are in demand somewhere. So you might think today that you have a certain set of skills which are probably not in demand. It is not possible, guys. You need to have those certain skills to be in a job in the first place. If you are somebody who has lost a job recently, or if you are somebody who is looking for a better career growth or looking for something bigger, better to get started on, while you continue to do your job search, this is something you can get started on and build a side hustle and see if your skills can start giving you money. In today's episode, I'm going to break down the whole process of you getting to employ your skills immediately to get started to start making money online. So I will introduce you to a 4-step blueprint to monetize your skills. Step number 1, you need to identify what you are already good at. This is sometimes a very difficult topic. Sometimes we are very sure of what we want to do when we are in a job. And this is a tip that I give to many people. When you are building your CVs, don't build a CV when you have already lost the job or you already have had an argument with your boss and now you're looking to do something bigger and better, because those are the times that you will really feel very low. You will not be so confident about what you're doing. But when you are in a job, you are so motivated. We are all so motivated in our jobs, right? So when you are in that job, you have just gotten started, or maybe you are 5 years into your job role now, or 10 years into your job role. Sometimes it could be a drag. Sometimes our jobs are super fulfilling because you put your skills to work, right? So on those days, guys, when you are at work and you are thinking that you are on top of the world, you go back super motivated, you take back chocolates for kids, take flowers for your wife. When you are on a happy day, that day is the day you need to sit down and build your CV, guys. There are so many things in a job that we are not able to remember when we want to build a CV just before we need to start applying for a new job. So I always advise this to people, that you must start building a whole CV and start noting down. Even if you don't have a CV format, while you are at work, you learned something new today, you put a new skill to work, Then you start putting it down in a piece of paper, maybe on the last page of your diary, and start writing the things you are doing on the job, because that is something, guys, you can put in your CV when you are ready to start looking. So now think about, what do people ask you help for? Now, whenever people reach out to you, whether they are your colleagues or they are your friends, what are those things that they reach out to you for? That is one thing. So when you start figuring out what are those really good skills that I already have and I don't know how to identify, and I need to start putting it down. So the best way is either you do a self reflection and find out what are you really good at, or the second option is that you drop a message to your friends and tell them, if they had to define you, how would they define you? What would that kind of a description be for you that they think you are really good at? This could be a great way. You could also ask your best friends or your colleagues. You can generally find out what are those skills that you're good at when you are not up to it. Okay, you're not up to writing it. Point number 2, what do you enjoy doing effortlessly? They say if you put 80% of your strengths to work, then life would be a breeze for you, because you are putting whatever you are really best at, 80% of whatever job that you do on a daily basis. If you are good at that job, you will end up being good at that job because you put your skills to work. That is your strength. In fact, you must go read that book, Go Put Your Strengths to Work. It's a beautiful book, talks about how you can put 80%, when you start putting 80% of strengths to work, how life takes on a different meaning and how productivity shoots up in our life. And number 3, what do you know more than the average person? Now, there are many times that we think that we are very fast at typing, we are very fast at skimming books, or we are very fast at skimming an email and we know exactly what's to be done. We are very good at writing, we have some good writing skills, or maybe we are very good at producing, strategies on the go. That is also something we can do. So we don't know what we are good at, so you need to find out. Take a piece of paper, do a self reflection, go back and do this assessment and ask yourself, what do you know more than the average person? So it is something that you can monetize, guys, right? So that's how we get started. Some of the examples of high income skills which you can really monetize even as a beginner is, number 1 is social media management, guys. So this is really powerful. Today, if you are able to figure out what is happening in the social media space, it is a huge wide web, guys. We have been totally using it all wrong and the other way around, where Facebook is getting to understand us better, LinkedIn is able to understand us better, how we think, how we talk, what we feel, what do we do. They have 52,000 data points around individuals who are on these platforms. They know us so much more than we know ourselves, right? So these are some of the skills. So social media management, if you are not good at it, there is no harm getting to understand it, because when you start monetizing your products, whenever you start figuring out, maybe you want to write a book, or maybe you want to give some kind of a guide to something you follow, maybe a meditation practice, you want to talk about it, anything at all, guys, right? Something you learned, something which worked for you, and something you believe can be monetized. So, and whatever you produce, whether it is a physical product or a digital product, you need to ultimately be able to drive organic traffic on your portals or organic traffic onto your website or any other place through your social media management skills. If you don't already have it, there is absolutely no harm going chatting with your chat GPT, give it a name and discuss what are the bespoke features of all of these social media practices or social media platforms which are different, and where you can get started with your product. The next example of a very high income skill that you can monetize is copywriting and content writing. Now, copywriting and content writing, a lot is today covered by AI. Like, there are platforms like Fiverr where people are giving across these services. If you are a novice on an online space and you are getting started in a business, you would usually end up going to platforms like Fiverr where you hire a service and you pay these people. There are really brilliant companies, different parts of the world where they have employed people in really difficult times, difficult parts of the world where they don't earn so much of money. But these people, these kids get employed, 18 and above, they are being employed and they are being given jobs by so many people. So they charge you a nominal fee, and the person who's doing your job gets that payment. and the company keeps a little part of the payment also as their own, because they are running the services and they are giving access to these people in so many parts of the world, like Argentina, Ghana, India, where people want to figure out a way to make money online. Another really good skill that, which could be a high income skill today, guys, is Canva or graphic design. Now, if you are a graphic designer and you're looking for a job, and I'm hoping that you already know how to use your Canva or figure out how you can do the whole graphic designing bit online. If you already have a graphic design skill, guys, that is a really beautiful skill to have, because you can immediately monetize it in the form of making a content for companies. You can create content for websites of companies, you can create brochures, you can create so many things, guys, if you are a graphic designer. But if these are some of the skills that you have, then these are the skills you need to start jotting down to know that yes, I can start making money through this. If you are good at video editing, that's skill number 4. If you're good at video editing, whether it is on your iMovies, on your iPhone, or it is on your laptop, or it is on some other platform where you believe you can bring out that best of a video through a video editing, bring the intro, bring the outro, put in ads, different types of moving pictures, moving videos, anything. Today, video editing has become a big skill to monetize, guys, and if you can do it, it's great. Another great thing is that you could also start coaching or tutoring. Now, these are also very highly monetizable skills. If you are able to teach, if you are able to coach people of what you are learning and what you want to tell people to explore, then you could also do that, as that is also a skill worth considering when you are noting down in your notepad today. There is also something called virtual assistants. Many companies, they have this requirement of having virtual assistants for their online space. Now, you could be that virtual assistant if you are looking for temporary part-time jobs, and you could apply for these companies and be that virtual assistant who's doing a shift. It could be an 8-hour shift in your timeline, and these companies hire people on different timelines across different countries, and they end up doing virtual assistants through that. Now, I also know of students today who are so brilliant, who are able to create ChatGPT based chatbots within websites in no time. All you need to do is train the chatbot about your, and if you are good at that, you can build that as well, right? If you are more digital. And also another great skill I would talk about, like it's a high income generating skill, could be translation or some kind of a transcription. Now, translation itself in countries like Germany, per page of translation can cost you anywhere between 25 euros per page, depending on how many words there are, to as much as 100 euros per page, guys. That's a lot of money I'm talking about, right? So if you are good at a language and you want to take up the whole translation part, there are many people who are able to do it online. Now, step number 2, you need to figure out a way, how are you going to package your skill in a profitable way? All right. Now, this is important. When we are in hotels, when you go and eat a good meal, you would not eat a meal if it looks bad and it's not presented well. Now, for your skill to be able to sell in the market, it has to be packaged correctly, right? Now, and it has to be packaged correctly enough to be profitable, right? So you need to decide how you will monetize your skill. Now, let's say freelancing basically means that you are exchanging your time for the money, and it's going to be project based. Now, if any kind of a project based work you can find on Fiverr, you can find it on Upwork, you can find it on LinkedIn, right? There are also ways in which that you could, how you could monetize, or how you could decide how you will monetize, is by maybe creating some kind of a digital product. Now, digital products are basically scalable income. For example, now you could get started by creating a whole course structure. Now, for me, now that I'm learning this whole digital space, I'm reading a lot of books, and I'm taking up a lot of courses, I'm taking up a lot of mentorship programs to understand how to scale anything online, whether it's my regular business or the digital business itself. If I want to figure out how I'm going to scale this up online, I can also start writing some kind of an ebook, right? Because I'm learning it, so I can do it like a step by step thing and share it with people. It could be in the form of an online course, where it could be a recorded course onto a platform where somebody subscribes and gets that access. Or there could be another way that I give free coaching, like I'm giving right now on podcast, and over a period of time, when I have certain number of followers into my different platforms, then that automatically ends up adding to a point that I can take up some kind of a mentorship programs, and I can take up more mentees who would pay me to scale their businesses online. Now, it could be solopreneurs who are just getting started. It could be solopreneurs who have come to a certain point but are still figuring it out. It could be individuals, who set up a company and the company hasn't taken off the way they would have liked it to. They could be small businesses, and I could do that kind of a mentorship as well. When I do that, that could be, that would come under the category of coaching and consulting, right? So it could be one to one, or it could be a group coaching session. Guys, group sessions or one-to-one coaching, I have seen one-to-one coaching go up to $1 million per year, where bigger companies reach out to certain mentors, certain coaches who help the whole system set it up to a point that they are able to make some really good money, where you don't do too much. Okay, you are a consultant, you have figured this all out. You will just take certain groups of people within the company, and you would consult them and give them a strategy. And guys, now for many of you who think that this is a very far-fetched dream to become a consultant in a company in a digital space, if you start learning the digital skills today, if you are not late, okay, even if you start today, you could call yourself a master of these skills if you are ready to give at least 1 to 2 hours every day to learn and upgrade yourself from wherever you were before, and you are ready to upgrade. Give yourself 1 year, guys. There will be never any looking back. The whole life will take on a totally different meaning. People will know about you, people will resonate with you, people will follow you, you will follow them back. Your connections, your whole networking will take on a totally different new meaning, guys. You will be hanging around with totally different level of people whom you are learning with every day, who are encouraging you to become better at whoever you are, and you will just get better and better and better. That is what you want to do, right? That is why we came on this planet. We didn't come here for a to 5 job where there is so much politics happening all around us, where we are not happy doing what we are doing. So why not do something like that, right? So that is one part. So you could also take up affiliate marketing. Now you say, I'm a novice and I don't know how to get started. No problem. You could buy a product, or if you buy a product, there are multiple ways in which you can further sell the product. Sometimes you can buy a product and you get a master resell right option. Sometimes you don't have to buy a product. You can go to platforms to see a lot of products that you can put up on your platform, put up on some kind of a store like a Stan.store. If you are looking to start creating a digital store for yourself, you can log into my bio on Insta. You can get a 14-day free trial. Just go and take it up from there, guys, and you can start a Stan.store. It is a simple store where you can get started about selling your digital products. It could be your ebooks, it could be your coaching sessions, it could be any kind of an affiliate marketing product that you want to talk to people about, and it would be a passive source of income, guys. You don't buy the product, you don't create the product. All you do is you put it up on a store where somebody can see it and say, okay, maybe this is what I want to do. Now it all has to lead to each other, right? So of course there is a way to go about that part, and then of course there are ways in which you can create memberships within your communities. Now when you come to a point that you are able to generate a large traffic, a large network of people who are now part of your network, who are following you, you are following them back, some of them, and you're building a whole ecosystem of like-minded people for your thought, right? So let's say you are an expert at social media, and that is what you're going to be preaching or talking about. So you will end up attracting people of the same tribe, right? You will create a whole tribe. Now, there will be a point that when you cannot handle a lot of tribes coming in, and you might not be able to individually give everybody that kind of a chance, because sometimes you need to be able to give personalized attention to people, right? Because that's why they are getting attached to you. So what do you do in such cases is that you start having paid communities, which could be a subscription based access. You create a community on a certain platform like School, and so many other platforms are there. You can create your own platform where people subscribe to be part of your channel. There are, communications can happen across so many platforms like WhatsApp or Discord, and so many other of these platforms, and that's how the whole ecosystem grows. For all of you who think this is a very, very overwhelming task, because it might be overwhelming because you are in a job right now where you have really given so much of your time, I want you guys to remember that whatever time you are giving into a job, it's not bad, but it is not adding any more than just that salary at the end of the month. Okay, and I have hardly seen people who are in, very rarely come across really good, hungry people who are in the job, who are learning a lot in the job market, who are learning everything about their own jobs, but they don't go and read anything else in the internet space. If somebody, I have seen, if they are, they are maybe very 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 busy with the news, they are busy with something else, but people are not learning skills, guys, and that is one of the biggest reasons why people are not getting good jobs anymore, or they are not able to get to that next job easily, or they don't get a big hike into that next job because they were not getting skilled during the time you were, working in that previous job. So this gentleman Vishen Lakhiani from Mind Valley, he always says, in so many of his talks, he says, if you were in a job for whatever time of your life and you say, you had a good time or you had a bad time, whatever, at the end of that episode somebody should be able to ask you, or you should ask yourself, did I learn? Right? So if you had a bad Kensho moment where you had a death of a family member, it was really painful. It was learning, transformation through pain. And you ask yourself, did I learn in this, right? It could be anything. So guys, the most important part is that we forget that our basic core purpose of being here on this planet is to learn every day, and that is what will keep us moving forward, and that is what will get us to bigger job positions, or bigger earnings, bigger everything, including a very high self-worth.